Alright, good morning everyone. We are here with break 375. It is another 25 Elite combo break featuring a 25 Elite hobby case, a 25 Elite Priority Box, as well as the 25 Elite USA. Our team list for today: Broncos, Mike Bekker; Raiders, Spencer Jones; Bulldogs, Stephen Clibborn; Sharks, David McFarlane; Dolphins, Matty, McCullagh; Titans, Chris Keys; Manly, Byron, Scott; Storm, Hayden; Knights, Kyle Burrows; Cowboys, Scott Jones; Eels, Daryl, Barton; Panthers, Dwight, Bennell; Rabbitohs, John Turner; Dragons, Warren, Stoddart; Roosters, William Goodger; Warriors, Scotty Murray; Tigers, Mario. Let's bring that chat screen. G'day Mike, welcome mate. We have our USA and Priority Box, which we'll leave. That is the USA box, and it has inserts that aren't in the others, which is it's not Stars and Stripes, it's Vegas, is it? It is Stars and Stripes? It is Stars and Stripes, there you go, and Super Boot. So, yeah. And they've also got the dual signature booklet in the box. Not guaranteed in the box, but that's what's in the USA difference of the thing. But yes, that's what I was getting to. We do have both checklists available for download on our checklist page on the website as well. If you check the 25 Elite category, the descriptions below all the other like the insert categories, and if you look down the bottom, it has all the information. And then if you click into each one, if you happen just to go straight there, it will have the same thing there as well. Alright, let's go. Hope that helped, Brian. Alright, number 41 for the Bulldogs. Salami kick out. We've got Stephen Clibborn. There we go. I got Warriors, Jules Sig in a box over last night. USA, was it? Yeah, look, if you hit one of the, especially if you hit a Jules Sig, but if you hit one of your team cards in either Super Boot or those Stars and Stripes, well, then yes, it's definitely a good thing. I've seen a couple of people whinging that they weren't worth it and that, and you know what, I think it's personal preference. It's down to what you want to chase and the luck that you have in opening it, but that goes with any box. So. There's no guarantees of any hit in any box, but check the ratios and it gives you an idea of what should be in there. Alright, let's go. New break listed this morning, new spot raz listed this morning. Two more breaks sold out and added to the schedule. Vegas, Corey Horsburgh for the Raiders. Jesse Arthur's parallel for Broncos. New recruit from Manly. In the Masters series, Cameron McInnes, parallel for the Sharks. In the Reps, Angus Crichton. Panthers parallel checklist. New recruit Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. Morning, Lee. Daly M. Millie Elliott for the Roosters. Tigers parallel checklist. Black Young Gun Jackson Purdue for the Cowboys, number 14. Luke Metcalf, parallel for the Warriors. Marquee, Big Papa for the Raiders. New recruit Zach Lomax for the Eels. Vegas Dylan Edwards for Panthers. AJ Brimson parallel for the Titans. Lauren Brown in the Reps. Ruby Mojo, number 29. Ali for the Warriors. Kalen Ponga, parallel for Knights. New recruit Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. Dwight Young Guns, number 181 for the Cowboys, Thomas Duffy. Ryan Madison, parallel for the Eels. In the Reps, Julia Robinson for the Jillaroos. Gold Marquee, number 91. Reece Walsh for the Broncos. Marcelo Montoya, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit Daniel Saifiti for Dolphins. Marquee James Tedesco for the Roosters. Sebastian Chris parallel for the Raiders. Pink Diamond, number 42. Georgia Roach for the Knights. Jai Arrow parallel for the Rabbitohs. Liam Martin, marquee for the Panthers. Dally M, Harry Grant for the Storm. Tom Gilbert, parallel for Dolphins. New recruit John Bateman for the Cowboys. Kalen Ponga for the Reps. And that's box 1 done and dusted. G'day, Nick. New recruit Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. White Young Guns Bailey Haywood for the Bulldogs. Number 215. Dylan Edwards parallel for Panthers. Ali Brigginshaw in the Reps for Gillaroos. Parallel Ruben Garrick for Manly. New recruit Carter Gordon for the Titans. Sapphire Mojo, number 13. Mitchell Barnett for the Warriors. Jackson Purdue, parallel for the Cowboys. Marquee Herbie Farmworth for the Dolphins. Gold marquee Latrell Mitchell for the Rabbitohs, number 21. James Tedesco, parallel for the Roosters. In the Blues for the Masters Series, Harry Grant, parallel for Storm. New recruit, Isaiah Papali'i for the Panthers. Jess Surgis in the Vegas for Gillaroos. Gutho, parallel for the Dragons. Harry Grant in the reps. New recruit, Shabarsky for the Broncos. Tally M. Kimberly Hunt for the Dragons. The Hammer, parallel for Dolphins. In the reps, Quincy Dodd. Marquee, Jamie Chapman. I haven't watched much football. Jack Williams, parallel for the Eels. I've watched more junior footy this year than I have NRL. Chad Townsend, new recruit for the Roosters. Vegas, Jackson Ford for the Warriors. Bronson Sherry, parallel for the Bulldogs. In the reps, Jamie Chapman. White League sensation, number 20, Herbie Farnworth for the Dolphins. James Fisher-Harris, parallel for the Panthers. New recruit, Clint Gufferson for the Dragons. 3 packets left for box number 2. Ruby Mojo, number 40. Brian To'o for Panthers. Payne Haas, parallel for the Broncos. Yeah, well, ours was not last weekend, the weekend before. Under 9 girls and under 6s, but we were sticking around for the whole day supporting the club because we're only a small club, so Zalesniak, marquee for the Warriors. I think our under 14s, to be honest, is doing the best for the whole club. So congrats to them. Still playing this weekend. Stephen Crichton, Dally M for the Bulldogs. Sharks parallel checklist. Mitchell Moses, marquee for the Eels. Keanu Kinney, parallel for the Titans. Stefano Utakamanu, new recruit for Storm. New recruit, Marky Mark for the Roosters. Pink Diamond, number 11, Christian Pio for the Tigers. Bulldogs parallel checklist. New recruit, Adam Fanua Blake for the Sharks. Vegas, Isabel Kelly for the Jillaroos. Jaden Sewer, parallel for the Dragons. Marquee, Jerome Luai for the Tigers. Vegas, Paul Alamotti for the Panthers. Adam Pompey, parallel for the Warriors. New recruit, Valentine Holmes for the Dragons. Definitely a good day at juniors. Andrew Johns in the Blues. Adam Reynolds, parallel for the Broncos. Whoa. Ben Hunt in the reps. We do have some work going on outside, if you couldn't tell. Jesse Ramian, parallel for the Sharks. It feels like it's coming straight through that window. James Schiller, new recruit for the Knights. Yeah, that made no difference at all. Ruby Mojo, number 52. Gally Cherry Evans for Manly. Tyson Frizzell, parallel for the Knights. Marquee Kira Bibb for the Cowboys. Can I put it in a wish list for Joey's signature in break tomorrow? Mate, you can put whatever you want in your wish list. It's a wish. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. No guarantees in anything. James Tedesco, Dally M for the Roosters. Jack White and parallel for the Rabbitohs. Jaden Campbell in the reps. Mind you, the odds are, mate, like we've had one every break so far, I think. So, look, talking about it, you manifested it. Number 33 in the Blues. Sanoa Taruba, parallel for the Tigers. New recruit Ben Hunt for the Broncos. White Young Guns, Lehe Hopawate, number 130. Daniel Saifiti, parallel for the Dolphins. Dally M. Yasmin Clydesdale for the Knights. Ethan Strange, parallel for the Raiders. Hopefully they don't have too much of that to do. In the reps, Kennedy Sherrington. Emerald Mojo, number 8. Marky Mark for the Roosters. Lars, goody lads. Joe Oppen Gowie, parallel for the Eels. Yasmin Clydesdale in the reps. And that's box number 3. Yes. Yes, we've been getting the front done, and that's basically the last of the front getting finished off. They're putting a new garage door up on the extension. Zahara Tamara Dalian for the Raiders. Isaiah Yo parallel for Panthers. Mind you, they've been standing out the front for a couple of hours, I reckon, and waiting for the truck to turn up, doing absolute nothing. And they decided to start half an hour into the video. Isaiah Yo in the reps. I'm okay. Marquee, David Fafita for the Titans. Luke Brooks, parallel for Panthers. Manly. I even put it in the right one. Parallel, Jamal Fogarty for the Raiders. New recruit, Lewis Dodd for the Rabbitohs. Sapphire Mojo. Number 14, Jack Cogger for the Knights. Apasai Coruscant, parallel for the Tigers. Marquee, the hammer for Dolphins. Gold marquee, Mitchell Moses for the Eels, number 8. Fletcher Sharp, parallel for the Knights. New recruit, Marcelo Montoya for the Bulldogs. In the Kangaroos for the Masters Series, Keon Kolomatangi, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Jesse Arthur's in the reps. Black Young Guns, Samuel Stonestreet for the Sharks, number 63. Jermaine Isako, parallel for Dolphins. Ruby Mojo, number 48. Jesse Arthurs for the Broncos. Marky Mark, parallel for the Roosters. New recruit, Blaze Talagi for Panthers. Vegas, Nico Hines for the Sharks. Jerome Hughes, parallel for the Storm. New recruit Regan Campbell-Gillard for the Titans. Vegas, Matthew Tomoko for the Raiders. Drinkwater, parallel for the Cowboys. Payne Haas in the reps. Marquee, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck for the Warriors. Dally M, Brian To'o for Panthers. Dragons, parallel checklist. New recruit Isaiah Ayongi for the Eels. White Young Guns, Sione Finau for the Dragons, 181. Bo Fermor, parallel for the Titans. Kira Dibb in the reps. Matty Nicholson, new recruit for the Raiders. And that is box 4 done and dusted. Gold Marquee, Tegan Berry for the Dragons. Sam McIntyre, parallel for the Cowboys. New recruit James Fisher-Harris for the Warriors. In the Masters Series for the Knights, Sandon Smith, parallel for the Roosters. Xavier Coates in the reps. White League Sensations, number 91, Jerome Luai for the Tigers. Storm parallel checklist. In the reps, Lindsay Collins. Marquee, Ryan Paps for the Storm. Max Plath, parallel for the Dolphins. New recruit John Bateman for the Cowboys. Alamotti parallel for Panthers. New recruit Jerome Luai for the Tigers. Ruby Mojo, number 22. Campbell Graham for the Rabbitohs. Daly Cherry Evans parallel for Manly. Marquee Kalen Ponga for the Knights. New recruit Daniel Saifiti for the Dolphins. White Young Guns, Marky Mark for the Roosters, number 30. Braden Trindle, parallel for the Sharks. Oh, open up. In the reps, Millie Elliott for Jillaroos. New recruit Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. Dally M. Lauren Brown for the Titans. Tyrone Munro parallel for the Rabbitohs. Vegas, Chance Nicole Klokstad for the Warriors. Parallel, Roger Tuivasa Sheck for the Warriors. Marquee, Nico Hines for the Sharks. Joseph Tarpanay, Adelium for the Raiders. Selwyn Cobbo, parallel for the Broncos. New recruit for Manly. Vegas, Jesse Ramian for the Sharks. Panthers, parallel checklist. Shanice Parker in the reps. Pink Diamond, Mahalia Murphy for the Eels, number 66. Salami kick out, parallel for the Bulldogs. Box number 6. White Young Guns, Lachlan Galvin for the Tigers, number 60. Chans Nico Cockstad, parallel for the Warriors. Reece Walsh in the reps. In the Vegas, Hudson Young for Raiders. Rabbitohs parallel checklist. Lily and White in the reps. And our BD from the case, number 5. Lehe Hopawate for Manly. Ben Hunt, parallel for the Broncos. New recruit, Jazz Tavega for Manly. Ruby Mojo, number 21. Jacob Little for the Dragons. Isaiah Katoa, parallel for Dolphins. New recruit, Carl Lawton for the Cowboys. Black Young Guns, number 82. Jack Howarth for the Storm. Parallel, Jermaine Hopgood for the Eels. Marquee, Zach Lomax for the Eels. Dally M, Nico Hines for the Sharks. Jacob Preston, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit, Cooley Kefu for the Dolphins. New recruit Lewis Dodd for the Rabbitohs. Dally M. Casey Ray for the Dragons. Gerald Skelton parallel for the Tigers. Tommy Turbo in the reps. In the Kangaroos for the Masters series. Tommy Turbo parallel for Manly. Tameka Upton in the reps for the Jillaroos. Cowboys parallel checklist. Gold marquee. Happy for the Tigers. Number 76. Parallel Renato Molitalo for the Sharks. Marquee Valami Kickout for the Bulldogs. James Schiller parallel for the Knights. Marquee Tommy Dearden for the Cowboys. 3 packets left for box number 6. Vegas Blake Brayley for the Sharks. Nathan Cleary parallel for Panthers. New recruit Sanua Taruba for the Tigers. New recruit Marcelo Montoya for the Bulldogs. Alright, well, that's another box done and dusted. Parallel Dolphins checklist. Marquee Big Tino for the Titans. Black Leg Sensation Mitchell Barnett for the Warriors, number 24. Zach Lomax parallel for the Eels. New recruit Chad Townsend for the Roosters. In the Masters series for the Kangaroos. Reed Money parallel for the Bulldogs. In the reps, Jess Surgis. In the Vegas Gillaroos, Julia Robinson. Lehe Atua parallel for the Warriors. New recruit Aaron Clark for the Warriors. In the Vegas, Wade Egan for Warriors. Spencer Lanu parallel for the Roosters. In the reps, Dylan Edwards. Marquee Isabel Kelly for the Roosters. Parallel Will Warbrick for Storm. New recruit Shabaski for the Broncos. Dally M Olivia Koenig for the Roosters. Lachlan Ilias parallel for the Dragons. Keely Joseph in the reps. Ruby Mojo Sam McIntyre for the Cowboys. Number 31. Big Tino parallel for the Titans. In the reps, James Fisher Harris. Big Diamond, Tiana Penatani for the Sharks. Number 26. Humphreys parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit Connor Valuku for the Storm. Sapphire Mojo Tyrell Sloan for the Dragons, number 8. Matthew Tomoko parallel for the Raiders. Marquee Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders. Dalium Alafiana Khan Piera for Titans. Parallel Adam Dewey for Tigers. New recruit Matt Arthur for the Knights. White Young Guns Tony Francis for Titans, number 93. Jacob Saifiti parallel for the Knights. New recruit Hohepa for the Sharks. And box number 7 done. Up to our 5th last box, 3rd last box of the case. Ruby Mojo, number 38. Ryan Pappenhausen for the Storm. Blake Brayley parallel for the Sharks. Vegas, Nathan Cleary for Panthers. Corey Horsburgh parallel for the Raiders. Raimi Teetsel in the reps. In the blues for the Masters Series, parallel RCG for Titans. Get open. New recruit Asaya for the Eels. And our patch for today, 101, Jack Bostock for the Dolphins. Valentine Holmes, parallel for Dragons. Marquee, Valentine Holmes for the Dragons. Emerald Mojo, number 11 of 11. Sebastian Chris for the Raiders. Parallel Paps for the Storm. New recruit Blaze Talagi for Panthers. Pink Diamond, Romy Titel for the Broncos, number 26. Dom Young, parallel for the Roosters. Marquee Keezy Apps for the Tigers. Mitchell Barnett, parallel for the Warriors. Mitchell Moses in the reps for the Blues. Tiana Penatani, a Vegas for the Gillaroos. Stephen Crichton, parallel for the Bulldogs. New recruit Marky Mark for the Roosters. Isabel Kelly, reps for the Gillaroos. White Young Guns, Blake Moser for the Broncos, number 84. Parallel Murray Talagi for the Cowboys. Regan Campbell Gillard, new recruit for the Titans. Josh Kerr in the reps. Dally M, Abby Church for the Eels. Corey Pay, parallel for the Broncos. New recruit Valentine Holmes for the Dragons. Dally M, Zach Lomax for the Dragons. Manly parallel checklist. Marquee, Adam Fanua, Blake for the Sharks. New recruit, Matty Nicholson for the Raiders. Liam Martin, parallel for Panthers. And that is another box done and dusted. Box number 8. Let's get into box number 9. Sapphire Mojo, Luke Brooks for Manly, number 15. Tyrell Sloan, parallel for the Dragons. New recruit, Zach Lomax for the Eels. Parallel, David Fafita for the Titans. Dally M. Julia Robinson for the Broncos. Reece Walsh, parallel for the Broncos. Marquee, Jack Whiten for the Rabbitohs. In the reps, Taryn Aiken for Gillaroos. Ethan Strange, Vegas for the Raiders. Xavier Savage, parallel for the Raiders. New recruit, Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. In the Blues for the Masters Series, Dream Buller, parallel for the Tigers. New recruit, Clint Gufferson for the Dragons. Zach Lomax in the Blues. New recruit, Carter Gordon for the Titans. Golden Age, number 35 for the Eels. Tommy Dearden, parallel for the Cowboys. Marquee, Reece Walsh for Broncos. Daly M. Adam Fanua Blake for the Warriors. Roosters parallel checklist. New recruit Asaya Papali'i for Panthers. Liam Martin, Vegas for Panthers. Isaac Tago, parallel for Panthers. The Hammer in the reps. 6 packets left for box number 9, Ruby Mojo. Number 38, Bulldogs checklist. Amoli Olika R2, parallel for Manly. White Young Guns, Chevy Stewart for the Raiders, number 79. Xavier Coates, parallel for the Storm. In the reps, Bree Chester. 3 packets left for the box. Marquee Tegan Berry for the Dragons. Kale Iro parallel for the Sharks. New recruit Ethan Sanders for the Raiders. Leo Thompson parallel for the Knights. And that is the end of box number 9. Box number 10, last box of the case. Jack Whiten in the reps. Sapphire Mojo Sharks checklist number 20. Jerome Luai parallel for Tigers. New recruit James Schiller for the Knights. Vegas Roger Tuivasa Sheck for the Warriors. Knights parallel checklist. Marquee Payne Haas for the Broncos. New recruit Jerome Luai for the Tigers. Dally M. Tiana Penatani for the Sharks. Jake Jabojevic, parallel for Manly. Golden Age. Number 38 for the Roosters. Jai Gray, parallel for the Rabbitohs. In the reps, Patrick Carrigan. New recruit, Ben Hunt for the Broncos. Kangaroos for the Masters Series. Jeremy Marshall King, parallel for Dolphins. Dylan Brown, parallel for the Eels. New recruit Adam Fanua Blake for the Sharks. And our Spotlight booklet, number 15. Jaden Brayley for the Knights. Jacob Little, parallel for the Dragons. Marquee Jesse Southwell for the Knights. Dally M. Angus Crichton for the Roosters. Mawaki Fotuaika, parallel for Titans. Vegas, Braden Trindle for the Sharks. Angus Crichton, parallel for the Roosters. In the reps, Avania Elite. Ruby Mojo. Number 8. Matthew Tomoko for the Raiders. Parallel Eliza Katoa for Storm. We've got 5 packets left for the case. New recruit Stefano Utikamanu for the Storm. Young Guns, Jamie Humphries for the Rabbitohs. Whoop, number 46. Parallel Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders. Marquee Tommy Turbo for Manly. Ruben Cotter parallel for the Cowboys. New recruit James Fisher-Harris for the Warriors. Zali Faye in the reps to finish us off. Alright, as I said, that is the last box of the case, but we still have these two to go, which is our USA and our priority. So let's get them done. Upside down. Don't know if that flipped as we lifted the box or... Marquee Jamie Chapman for the Titans. New recruit Matty Nicholson for the Raiders. Ruby Mojo, number 23, Jamal Fogarty for the Raiders. Jason Saab, parallel for Manly. Marquee Dallin Watine Zalesniak for the Warriors. Gold Marquee Adnafanua Blake for the Sharks, number 23. Thomas Duffy, parallel for the Cowboys. Our USA Stars and Stripes, Tommy Turbo for Manly, number 23. New recruit Regan Campbell Gillard for the Titans. Dally M. Harry Grant for the Storm. Broncos parallel checklist. New recruit Valentine Holmes for the Dragons. White Young Guns Tony Francis for the Titans, 121. Adam Fanua Blake, parallel for the Sharks. In the Masters series for the Kangaroos, Victor Radley, parallel for the Roosters. In the reps, Jessica Surgis. White League Sensations, number 95, Jamal Fogarty for the Raiders. Jack Howarth, parallel for the Storm. In the reps, Dylan Edwards. Marquee, Big Papa for the Raiders. Herbie Farmworth, parallel for Dolphins. New recruit, James Scheller for the Knights. G'day, Alex. Dally M. Millie Elliott for the Roosters. Cody Walker, parallel for the Rabbitohs. New recruit, Ben Hunt for Broncos. Vegas, Jesse Ramian for the Sharks. Adokar, parallel for the Eels. In the reps, Keely Joseph. Anything big come out today? Not that I can think of. We got the Johns Blues. James Fisher Harris. Oh God, can't stop. 4 packets left for our USA. Super Boot. Number 16, Adam Reynolds for the Broncos. Brian Totter, parallel for Panthers. Pink Diamond, number 64, Lauren Brown for the Titans. Parallel, Matt Burton for the Bulldogs. Stars and Stripes, number 4, Milwaukee Photo Ica for the Titans. New recruit, Marky Mark for the Roosters. And Vegas, Chance Nicole Clockstad for the Warriors. Wade Egan, parallel for the Warriors. That's the end of the Vegas box, leaving only our priority to go. Have you guys got any more singles to list soon? It's now a process of they'll be constantly getting updated, listed with whatever mum picks up next off the table as we open it. Knights in the Masters series. Kalen Ponga, parallel for the Knights. Tamika Upton in the Jillaroos. Jai Arrow, parallel for the Rabbitohs. Sapphire Mojo, number 2. And DCE for Manly. AJ Brimson, parallel for the Titans. New recruit, Lazarus for Storm. Vegas, Ethan Strange for Raiders. Sebastian Chris, parallel for the Raiders. Marquee Priority, number 18. Bradman Best for the Knights. Spotlight Patch, number 45. Saitili Tupanua for the Bulldogs. Tigers, parallel checklist. Vegas, Isabel Kelly for the Jillaroos. Ruben Garrick, parallel for Manly. Lily Ann White in the reps. Ruby Mojo, number 44. Matty Burton for the Bulldogs. Jackson Purdue, parallel for the Cowboys. New recruit Aaron Clark for the Warriors. Marquee Priority, number 39, Stephen Crichton for the Bulldogs. Dally M. Lauren Brown for the Titans. Harry Grant, parallel for Storm. New recruit, Jazz Tavega for Manly. Daly M. Joseph Tarpanay for the Raiders. Sharks parallel checklist. Tommy Turbo in the reps. Marquee priority, Clint Gufferson for the Dragons, number 11. So is that a double jersey number? What do you reckon? Dylan Edwards, parallel for Panthers. New recruit, Sanua Taruba for Tigers. New recruit, Hohepa for the Sharks. Priority, a young gun. Number 1. Blake Moser for the Broncos. Clint Gufferson, parallel for the Dragons. Reece Walsh in the reps. New recruit, Matt Arthur for the Knights. And last, hopefully not least for the break, let's see Golden Age, number 56 for the Broncos again. The Broncos definitely not having a bad break. And Teddy parallel for the Roosters. Alright, we have 2 randomizations to do, one being our Jillaroos cards, and number 2 being our Master Series cards, with signature number 33 for the Blues. Excuse me, let's change screens. There we are, everyone loaded in, ready to go. Do a quick control or copy. And 3 times around the merry-go-round for the Jillaroos cards. There's number 2, lucky last 3, William Goodger with the Roosters. And last of all for the break, but definitely not least, is the Master Series cards, which includes that Blues SIG. That is number 1. That is number 2, and final last, number 3, Scott Jones with the Cowboys. Alright, well, that's it. That's all for this one. Don't forget to check out the break update listed this morning. Everyone was tagged that's in our Facebook group or is a follower of our page. It tells you the available spots or the upcoming break times for those that are already sold out. Alright guys, until next time, that is it for me. See you.